As we continue at our look at the spiritual disciplines, this week we want to take time to reflect on the concept of solitude, taking time to get away from other people. Now, we're made for community, we're made to be with each other, and so there's an important factor here that we don't want to spend too much time alone, too much time in solitude. But at the same time, this practice of solitude is a discipline that can help us be present with God, can help us figure out things going on within our own lives. And coupled with this practice of solitude is the concept of silence. When we're not physically with other people, we can't talk to other people. And part of the idea here is to stay off of our phones and devices as well, and to take some true time in solitude and silence. A caution that Dietrich Bonhoeffer would give us is that to let him who is leery of being in community watch being alone, and let him who is or her who is leery of being alone watch being in community. And what Bonhoeffer is suggesting to us is that for some people too much solitude might not be a good thing, and for others too little might not be a good thing. Some of us are introverted by nature, others extroverted, and we need to watch our balance of being in community and being in solitude. But that being said, we all need some amount of time alone. Thomas à Kempis had noted, plan to take some time off and give some thought as to what you do with that time. Hopefully, you'll spend part of the time reviewing God's favors to you in the past. He notes that in this time, it's not time to contract for new ventures and not time to gossip about old ones. All these having been done, you'll find more than enough time to undertake a program of meditation. Most of the saints did just that, avoided collaborative projects wherever they could, choosing instead to spend time private with God. Part of the solitude is again getting in the space where we're before God. We're away from the projects and the noise and the collaborations and the busyness, and we're just spending time quiet before God with our own thoughts, with God, and with our own reflections on life, how we are doing, how we are faring in the midst of what is at hand. The experience of solitude varies widely, from taking advantage of the little solitudes in our day, maybe a commute, a drive that you have, to setting aside planned times of retreat, to step out of our daily patterns in order to enter in to the silence of God. The only noises that maybe we would hear during our solitude and silence are the noises of natural things, creation, the birds and the breeze, and just to have this quiet time where we step out of our regular routine and norms. Donald Whitney has stated, the discipline of silence is the voluntary and temporary abstention from speaking, so that certain spiritual goals may be sought. Solitude is a spiritual discipline of voluntary and temporary withdrawing to privacy for spiritual purposes. We be quiet to better learn how to speak. We be in solitude or retreat to solitude to better learn how to be with people. Jesus practiced this. Luke chapter 4, we read that at daybreak Jesus departed and went into a deserted place. And the crowds were looking for him, and when they reached him, they wanted to prevent him from leaving them. But Jesus here had retreated into a deserted place. In Mark chapter 6, Jesus said to the disciples, "Come away to a deserted place all by yourselves and rest a while, for many were coming and going, and they had no leisure even to eat. So this solitude and this retreat can provide rest for us, again from the busyness of life. Emily Griffin has stated there's more to the discipline of solitude than just spending time by yourself. Wilderness time is your chance to detach from the opinions of others, to forgive some people who made you angry, to come to grips with the way other people are getting in the way of your relationship with God. Time spent alone is a rare opportunity for the Spirit. Solitude also helps us take the beam from our own eye in order to relieve the other person's affliction. It's taking a break from everything that bombards us from the other in order to clarify ourselves before God. Henry Nouwen, solitude is the furnace of transformation. It is the place of the great struggle and the great encounter. The struggle against the compulsions of the false self and the encounter with the loving God who offers himself as the substance of the new life. When we're constantly engaging with people, engaging with tasks, engaging with things that demand our time and energy and thoughts, it's difficult to operate at our best, holy, as God would have us be, because we are impacted and affected by these things outside of us. Solitude and silence gives us time to reset and find our place and our peace once again within ourselves before God. So I encourage you, take time to be alone, but as Bonhoeffer has encouraged us, not to the point where it is a negative item or discipline in your life. Take time to be alone. Take time to be silent and to hear from the Lord your God as to what is best for you, for your neighbor, for your life with God, lived ultimately in community. May the Lord bless you in this endeavor.